The House Foreign Affairs Committee subpoenaed Secretary of State Tony Blinken to testify on that today, the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. But of course, Tony didn't show. Now the House GOP is considering holding him in contempt.
Here with the reaction, U.S. Senate candidate for Nevada and Army veteran who served in Afghanistan, Sam Brown. Sam, thanks for being with us on the show. Just want to get your reaction to the contempt that Blinken shows to the Congress and to the American people and to the men and women who have served this country, that he won't even show up for a hearing about this disastrous withdrawal.
Well, look, it's clear that this administration, starting with President Biden and Kamala Harris, do not feel like they owe an explanation or any accountability to the American people, and that goes all the way through Secretary Blinken. The fact of the matter is, leadership is about making tough decisions, hard decisions, but it's also about accountability. The American people deserve to know what the process plan, the strategy, and why the execution of that failed. And look, when President Biden is talking about tough decisions, one tough decision should not be addressing the families and remembering their loss. I can tell you, we lost many great men and women in Afghanistan and the global war on terror in general, and many bear the wounds and scars, both internal and external, including this face here. I mean, this is the high cost of war. And President Trump, if we look back on his tenure in the White House, he kept us out of any new wars. There was global security and stability, unlike what we've had these last 4 years with President Biden and Kamala Harris, and frankly, with the Senate that has not provided any check to them. And it's why these Senate races this cycle are so important.
Well, let's move on to your Senate race, Sam. One recent poll shows you might have a tough road ahead in your campaign to unseat Senator Jackie Rosen. Looking at Sean and I were both looking at the Real Clear Politics average of polls. You're still behind. It's close to 9 points. But what are you doing to kind of narrow that gap and move ahead? But what are some of the issues maybe in Nevada that are different than other states?
Well, I mean, I think the issues are very similar across the nation. People are very stressed and concerned about economic issues. This administration has been a disaster for people. The average, the median household in Nevada is paying $1,200 more a month now than they were when President Trump was in office. And so any cost, whether it's food or housing, are major issues. And it's one of the reasons that my campaign is leading with a message of that we can reduce the cost of housing, we can reduce the cost of essentials like food, fuel, and medicine. And we also, and President Trump introduced this, can eliminate taxes on tips. I'd go a step further and say that our seniors who rely on Social Security should not be taxed on their Social Security benefits as well.
You know, Sam, your race is one of those key Senate races where you could flip a blue seat, make it red. That could mean control of the U.S. Senate when we get into 2025. But I'm from Wisconsin, and what I see in Wisconsin is a lot of New York and California money flowing into our state to try to buy a Wisconsin seat for people who don't live there, don't share the values of that state. But the money, a lot of money on the coast that come into play. Are you seeing the same thing in your race? You've seen a lot of outside money come in for Jackie Rosen, trying to make sure that they keep that seat blue. And are you raising enough to get your message out?
Absolutely. We're seeing the same phenomenon. Jackie Rosen's #1 donor state is California.
Yeah.
Her #2 state is New York.
Yep.
Our #1 state is Nevada, and we are keeping this fight going. We are in a very narrow, it's a margin of error race. The public polls that you referred to are not indicative of what we're seeing in our internal polls. And look, if people want to join from across the country, I'll tell you this, 3 out of every $4 is coming from Americans across the country that believe in the importance of this race, believe in me to serve again. And they can go to sendinsam.com or CaptainSamBrown.com to join us in this fight. We need people from all across the country to rally with us the way the Democrats have been rallying with their radical Democrat senators.
Sam, thank you so much. Great to see you, Sam Brown, and thank you for your service. We will never forget, ever.
Sam.
Thank you, Dagan.